Hello viewers, there's a Dark 97 Resident Evil Fire Emblem 6 Project Ember Maniac mode on on Maniac mode. So today doing chapter 9. This one is going to be fairly long because we have a lot of side objectives to do, so nothing particularly raising you to level 10 or something, but there's a lot of stealables, a lot of oh yeah, there's specific formation I put around there. I put in the generals and mage knight Luke around the front lines, so I can really fly on and take care of the other one in front. Well, this is the only way I can take care of them on turn 1, and this is probably the closest I'm going to get to an LTC in this map. Fog of War makes it pretty hard for me to aggro around. Just gonna make sure all of the other units move as forward as they can. Yeah, sadly, they can only be rescued by units who have really high aid, which is female units. So that's what I'm gonna do. And Astolfus, it's a good idea to bring in thieves in Project Ember for any map, honestly, just because a lot of stealables in the map, including promotion items that appear in reinforcements, so you'd be wise to just bring them in. Okay, that's fair, and probably Shin too, so the other reason why this map plays fairly slow. Fog of War, I need recruit units, and combination of that isn't exactly, let's say, pleasant. Just giving a Luke since it can move farther, but I don't think it matters that much here. Yeah, I'm just wondering about cave, but it's definitely Rutger for sure. Yeah, it's Rutger, so I'm gonna drop him around there. On hindsight, I shouldn't drop him there, but whatever works, I guess. So I'm just gonna drop the rest of the units around here, I guess. And speaking of version differences, you can see a warrior down there. You'll see a lot more promoted enemies than usual. In fact, the chapter 9 version of Vanilla 1 didn't have any promoted enemies save the boss, so that's something new. Okay, there's a soldier, that's why I shouldn't have put Rutger around there. Luckily, that fighter misses and he has an axe, so the chance of hitting is fairly low, but considering 0% growths, and I should really play it safe. Yeah, he is Ogia putting in some work. Speaking of route splits, the two route splits depending upon the village you visit or do not visit. So the default one is what we'll call is the A route, in which you get a kid now. And the other one is the B route, which you have Batre. Normally in the vanilla version, it honestly isn't a hard choice. You're just going the A route just to get a kid now. Your Project Ember made it a much harder choice. You'll see Batre plays more of an offensive unit with Echidna. I haven't honestly used her, but she plays overall as a defensive juggernaut with personal weapon. She's not bad, but let's say Batre is way better than Growths. Rotterdam will probably design the best warrior pre-promote in my opinion, at least in the mid game. Obviously, Batra isn't like the best unit, but it's definitely gonna put in a lot more work than you'd expect in a vanilla version. So yeah, honestly, it's not much besides moving around for now. And it would be nice if Liliana reaches A rank, staves the sap, but I don't expect to reach that quickly. And this isn't pretty needed, but I'm diverting at Pirate towards Shana just so I'll have less enemies to face around once I reach a point. And hopefully I lose the enemy which is hiding in the fog there, so that is an unintentional consequence of placing it there, but losing the enemy is kinda nice, let's put it that way. So here we go, just gonna clear the way, honestly. Clear the way, load the warrior and all that stuff. As you can see, Bart's low speed is gonna make it hard for him to face a warrior there, but luckily the rest don't have an issue. Reserve generals. The warrior has 15 speed, so the ABS barely comes to doubling range, and well, boss will probably will because of growths. Wendy, I guess she'll be there. Overall, DPS is kind of better, but Bart does a lot more defense, so DPS has a wide variety of weapon ranks, giving him a great amount of flexibility. And anyway, this is one of a few more than when I'm first used to generals. That's saying something, right? That should say how hard enemies are on this map. At least how hard they hit. Normally just Juggernaut is part paladins. But at least you'd be sure that paladins can easily take 3 to 4 hits before falling off. But here I'm using generals just to reliably beat the game in 0% growths. As you'll expect, this obviously brings in a lot more differentiation than a typical LTC run, which really performs 0% growth. So by anyone, I guess. Obviously, this will likely be improved on depending on how much you're willing to rig, but for now, I'll just think of it as one of the ways you should play the map. And there's a sniper, that's enemy I want to loot towards. He has an Orion's ball which I want to steal. And luckily snipers don't have 30 crit like they did in the previous versions or the older versions. That makes them a lot easier to beat, and trust me that that's pretty nice, honestly, because snipers do have a huge zone control over 2 to 3 range. In this case I don't have zone control because I have a short bow. Perhaps intentionally just to lure them around, make it easier to lure them around, but I'm gonna trade on Iron Blade just because I place him at Pirate's range. And placing Bart around there, so that is gonna lure an archer in the fog. And Lena ideally will get some staff XP, but I think a dot staff is gonna be a lot useful later down the road. And there's Fair. Promo gains are pretty insane if you ask me, but it's gonna take a while for it to reach a level. And I'm not sure we can pull it off, but if I can pull it off, I mean, at least level 10, that's what I want to reach. I'm definitely going to promote her for sure. And there you go, get Orion's bowl. That's going straight to Sin. There you go, there goes the sniper. This is how I am on a skill which replicates a critical hit in a way. So I still have to use generals to just bait them around, but it's definitely a lot lesser than what it used to be, that's for sure. There's a fighter around there, so we might as well take him out. And there's the archer, we can take him out at Shen if we wanted to, so I mean Su. As you can see, she's kind of frail, but an extra chip doesn't really helps. I'm gonna push it a bit forward. Or at least in a place where there's no terrain, so you can move around a bit more freely. Stadra, he's not even getting a chance to get the XP post. The early game. There you go, and drop Bastard 4. The rest is more in random directions. I'm gonna split a group into two just to visit a village in the south. Okay, finally get hit, so Shana's gonna retreat from there. And that guy's just gonna stay around there for the most part. Normally I want to go around, but since I didn't put in a vulnerability, I guess that's out of the question. So a charm isn't pretty hard to take care of. With Debius doubling him easily and hitting him out of range. You're fine in that regard, so okay, is gonna put a decent amount of work in this chapter. And there you go, get Shin. And there's a lot of reasons why I do not want to advance in this chapter. The promoted enemies all around the place, and it definitely makes it hard to see. Definitely makes it harder to move around. And that stage is pretty dangerous. It's pretty hard, none of the units are particularly don't have any particularly high resistance, so we're just gonna let him come towards us and snipe out a bow units at the very least in the first attack. The next one depends upon whether you can kill him or not, so honestly, that's Fimbulwetter, you can see is fairly formidable. Fimbulwetter in Parallel 6 is only available with Brunia in chapter 23 to give you a context of how might that is. And the stage is 21 magic, so that's endgame stats on the vanilla version. So we definitely don't want him to attack us for sure. Very few units can live to tell a tale, and that's a good slope. That's a good choke point in a way. Makes it a bit more play phase oriented instead of an enemy phase oriented game in a way. Project Ember aims to be a play phase oriented game, but they're reaching it honestly. Later games sometimes there's a mix of enemy phasing, so Vanilla V6 is still a mix of play phase and enemy phase, so it's not mixed to say the least. Compare later entries like FP7 to FP10, which are enemy phase games. Fire Emblem 6 does have some semblance of a play face just because it's pretty rare that you kill an enemy on zero kill enemies, so playface decisions do make a significant impact. And we're going to get an iron bow just because Shen can double with it a lot more frequently. And of course, you're going to promote him without any delay. It's such a good unit. Even 0% growth, just high aid and ship damage and high move alone is just gonna make him consistent stay in the party. Of course, I'm not going to suck here unless I'm planning to do some rescue job strategies, but for what it's worth, shit is just definitely going to be a huge asset to my team. And there you go, one of the spiders are down. So Ogi is pretty close to A-rank swords, so he can wield a silver sword, which will help, I guess, if you want. Use a silver sword, which you're gonna get in this chapter. Yeah, I'm just gonna place Lillian and Roy next to each other as much as I can to get this support. I think Project Ember did slow down the support rate, but to be fair, I didn't place him a lot next to each other in chapter 8x, so there you go. Just okay, he's taking care of those guys. And that guy's a light brand, I think. No, wind edge can't threat with light brand. So one load him with a lance unit ideally. And definitely don't want advanced there to horse unit a great knight just because similar to vanilla version and fight around there as halberds, so you really want to be careful with placing units. Mount idiots around that area. So I didn't mention how the dot spread is triggered, right? So you either don't visit any villages to reach the A route, or you visit a specific village in which you can restore stuff to reach a B route. Not particularly hard to remember, but I guess nonetheless it's something I should say. Roy sadly won't get a lot of EXP either. I think he's likely gonna promote in chapter 21, if I'm not mistaken. Not as inaccurate or something, it's just that it's really hard for me to combat. There you go, go ahead, ship him with Debbie can get a kill to Pharaoh's intention, but sadly Debbie has crit him, so can't do much about that. As you can see, if Debias is here, this guy would be dead meat. But okay, speaking of reinforcements, these spirits have pure waters which you can steal, and all the reinforcements have a pure waters, so it's essentially a pure water, free pure water bonanza, you might say that way. So you might want to take advantage of that and not LTCing or playing fast, which I don't recommend you play this fast anyway. Enemies are pretty much varied, and I don't think your generals can handle them reliably for the most part. And the generals are closest units who can come to handle them reliably, so as you can see, mercenary moves around, I think 2 turns, 1 turn before he can attack, so he has 20 skills, so essentially has 10 threat. Normally that wouldn't be an issue, but most of the combat units, as you can see, have less than 10 luck. We need insane luck to avoid it. Okay, the only unit comes very close to reaching 20 luck with his personal weapons, so gonna rely on baiting him and shipping him hopefully to the point where he can kill him with someone else without taking a counter attack. There you go, get a silver sword. Very powerful sword, which very few units can use in a vanilla version. But here, there are a lot more options. Just because weapon rank is gain weapon rank a lot quicker. So likely have more options to use a silver sword and a typical vanilla physics, at least at this point. As you can see, it's definitely a bad idea to place a single unit on there. I put a lot more enemies, a lot more variety, and Project Ember all plays that way, honestly. As you can see, he has 4 cred. Luckily, he can boost extra cred with supports, but that's a worry for lead when I get it, honestly. So this is gonna take care of the archer and the fighter, ideally, hopefully, please. Sadly, don't take care of the guy and don't should take a counter attack to face. So we're gonna let fighter alone at least for this turn. So that's gonna block the way around there. This guy is essentially an axe saver and an axe, so I'm gonna just give him a sword. Just a unit we can hold a sword fight there. Yeah, this Debias going around. As you can see, Marcus is still putting a decent amount of work. Obviously not juggernaut he was in the early chapters, but 8 more is 8 more, and S rank lances and B rank sword or something else. So I won't be surprised if he's one of few units who can have a double S rank at the end of the game. Multiple S ranks besides Deke, I guess. Guy put a lot of combat. Early game without him, I think I would have beaten Maniac a lot more reliably. I do get better options as rank weapons as I go on, but just in case I need an option, I think I have swords, axes, and lances already covered up along with amino magic, so that's a nice thing, honestly. Now I can use legendary weapons as a wish because it can't be hammered, but it's still a nice thing to have around. And there you go, this guy goes as a lot. That's fine, honestly. And that squadron is coming towards Debias. Yeah, you can see basically get a lot around 4 or 5 PO orders just because you can deal these enemies. Yeah, honestly, just need an iron sword down there. So does have significantly worse weapon ranks and combat's relatively lower than combat vanilla versions. You're still gonna have like worse weapon ranks compared to vanilla version depending on how much you use them, but honestly it's really a reliable option just in case you need a bulkier you can take a hit and move around. Just go in a bow just in case there's an archer around there. And this card very formidable enemy. 20 strength, killer axe, and a short axe. Now, sadly, I'm not getting to use it Cortain a lot, but it's a fairly useful weapon I can use. But I really have to in the pinch. As you can see, none of my squad is, except W, is equipped to take more than 2 or 3 hits. So I'm gonna pull back a little bit, just so I can divert them towards the main force. So Roy, Rutger, and this run I'm going the A route just because I can offer something that my squad really wants. A fast turn can take a lot of hits. Normally a defense is kind of average, but a personal weapon, as you'll see in later chapters, he's essentially gonna have the bulk of a general as long as she has it equipped, along with decent resistance. So, and she has roughly the same speed as Ogier, so it's gonna put in a decent amount of work for me as long as it exists. But in the vanilla version, I definitely see the closer preference battery. Get a Brave Axe, which is essentially an armor slayer, so that's a powerful weapon against Great Knights and all this stuff. So use a vendor just because you can crit and weapon trail advantage, but started not good as good hits, so can't really do much about that. There you go, not much, just beat our enemies around and take as many of them down as possible. We definitely want to kill that mage as soon as possible for sure. Sadly, on hindsight, bringing Elixir here would have made his point a lot easier, but not really can't handle these enemies honestly, so find a way. So we just need a one-shot guy, and luckily a killer bow offers enough power to do that. And now the rest of the enemies, so Fed is just gonna take care of this guy. He's low health, and Fed levels up to level 8, so she has 2 more levels before she can promote. And we need to get a promotion item, which honestly isn't hard to get in chapter 11A or 10B. You just need to save all the villages. That's a relatively easy object to achieve compared to other 2 promotion items, but I digress. You need to switch him to a weapon, just check him what he can do. So this Mercer can basically double and kill him if I don't wheel a lance. Well, the pirate guy doesn't double, but he does it fairly hard. So there are options you need to consider, and we definitely can't leave either one of them alive, otherwise we're gonna kill off Fair. So Cortain is a nice option, but I don't think it's particularly necessary. So I'm gonna go up close. Share an Iron Blade just in case if I decides to put his beady eyes on Debias. There you go, okay, it's pretty close. Yeah, it's probably not a good idea to attack with deep disappoint and take extra damage after all. Zerot isn't that need of healing, so we're just gonna just that, but before we do heal him, but before I push him to a corner, at least to be healed. It's imperative to steal and a pure water from him. At least that should give me enough pure water to last probably throughout the game. Just in case I need them. So obviously gonna rescue Chad, Astor before and get the fuck out of there. That pirate there isn't how to take care of its shin around, but I need someone who can choke the point, and luckily Marcus is a man for the job. But he's not gonna attack, just wait around there just so he can survive. Yeah. Sadly I have to use a killer bow just so we can kill him off, but luckily we crit, so that's fine by me. We drop assault for around there, and so go ahead for Clarine to heal this guy. So killing it can kill him, but as you can see it's really unreliable. That guy's 58 on Rutger, which honestly in vanilla version I definitely haven't seen. Especially the hand axe on. I did get unlucky enough to the point where he died, but pretty sure I didn't have a hidden weapon advantage, so that's something else. So I'm pretty close. Just need to deal reinforcements, just finish your side objectives, and overall the map should be done. Original short axe was hand axe plus, but I guess that makes a fair distinction, and from what I've seen it's possible to get a short axe, so from what screenshot is seen in the Project Ember Discord. He's going up fair, it's really fine. Our deal is reinforcements, but honestly speaking, they aren't particularly hard. They just hit hard, so I'll be careful in how we deal with them, honestly. But overall, not like a huge. They don't have a huge chance of killing me or something, so that kind of helps. Yeah, it would have been a good idea if we just shipped them and just let him do a job, but as you can see, another Dekorochi double, so I definitely do not want to initially attack Roji because that fight is in range. But it wouldn't really matter if Deke was in range, so Deke attacked first on his reinforcements, so that's precisely what I'm going to do. And finally this guy can use silver swords. So what you can use most of the axes which matter except the killer axe, and probably silver axe if you're planning to use it on him. Maybe the brave axe. That's the first brave weapon you get in the game, so speaking of brave axe, I'm not sure if you get it in a beat out. I'm not even sure you're gonna get a beat out, honestly. The vanilla version, Geese comes in a brave axe and beat out, well, Barry comes in a brave axe and beat out, so right, our inventories are full, so sorry can't steal, but luckily Zero is a lot empty, and that's precisely what you need. We're just gonna chip him with Shin, honestly. That's the best option to have. Luckily, we have a lot of options of killer weapons, so it isn't particularly hard. Honestly, I should just rescue up Lilina around there. But I guess it will be fine. You get a lot of new weapons, particularly the hammer and the windage. We definitely want a hammer and the windage just because sheer damage the hammer can pull off if on a armored unit. And the windage is essentially a 1-2 range physical weapon for the sworded, which is not a thief or a mercenary. So it's essentially a 2-range sword for high speed unit, which I definitely would like to have. It's rare that I'm going to use it, but when I do use it, it's pretty nice to have around. I guess going to feel totally fine with that. You can take portraits of the boss. You just basically need one crit at the very least. Then either a magic attack or a sword. A hit from a sword is like you're gonna take him out, so none of these are stealables, so don't have to bring in a sulfur down there. Okay, so Lilina takes care of one of them, which is kinda nice. Honestly, I don't need to reach a rank anima just because it's probably the highest magic user unless I put anima magic user unless I put Cecilia's weapon rank. Can easily reach this rank 2 ohms at least. But here's a good idea just to heal up Zealot and place him forward. As you can see, I don't see Zealot's weapon rank going that far, especially sword rank. Honestly, I think his axe rank is all he needs, but having multiple weapon ranks just increases the unit's flexibility. There you go, just chip from this guy and Freddy's is going to take him down with a single attack either from Narensword or Vodavo. Speaking of high crit swords, Vodavo is a fairly valuable sword, high crit and all that stuff. Gonna remove that squad on there, but honestly having an option in magical attack 2 range is kinda nice, so we're gonna push him there just in case Shin can't pull a job. And the Zealot has been misfortunate enough to get hit twice. It's sad, but not isn't anything I've dealt with. Sadly, I had to pull back Luke just because you just need a weapon rank, and Lena just need a lot more. Don't want to heal the guy, but definitely does make it a lot easier. So trade on for a fewer and vulnerability. So I don't want to kill him this turn, so I'm just gonna retreat with this a lot and heal him up. There he goes, Zealot's at full health. Like, I'm thinking it's gonna be one of the consistent unit, especially a couple of stat boosters. But that depends on how far I can go in the game. Of course I'm gonna beat it at some point, but so you can see it's gonna take a while. So just need to kill a boss and that's the end of the map. There you go. The short axe is one-shotting Lilina barely. She's not frail to be honest, so if I don't want her to be exposed in enemy phase. one of the reasons I wanna use a weapon rank to S rank as soon as possible, but it's not gonna be a big issue with doing that either. I'm gonna have other options to do it. It's just that I can't focus specifically on that, so the arena is essentially gonna offer me some more flexibility in that regard. Sorry, Iron Sword isn't enough, but the killing edge definitely is. Yep. This is no ordinary army, this is 0% growth brigade. So, well, that should honestly be it for this map. So, we'll just do some minor shenanigans like healing and stuff. Just to raise the staff rank. And yeah, honestly, that's pretty much it. Alright, yeah, I'm just checking out the stats. Let's stay to 17 turns. A lot longer than the previous versions, but well, that should be it for this map. So like, subscribe, and share. And see you in the next video. And until then, see you. Bye bye.